The biggest challenge in managing onboarding of new clients is accountability and timelines. You can create a Notion page, add a few checklist items to it, tag a few people, but it never works. Because you can't really assign these tasks to people, you can't really track their completion in a dashboard in a database, and that's what's need change. Hi, my name is Prashant. I'm a Notion admin certified and consultant. And in the next 10 minutes, we'll walk you through how you can build a professional setup which in one click adds all the tasks that your team needs as part of the onboarding process, add assignees automatically, due dates automatically, one-time setup that just takes 10 minutes and solves your entire onboarding process. Now let's get started. Your current checklist might look something like this. It may have multiple steps, more steps than this, but it basically is of the same order. So we're going to build a solution that takes your checklist from this to this, where in one click you get all the tasks assigned, due date given, and it's tagged to the new client that you added. So we're going to go to this and let's start building. So for the time being, I'm going to remove this entire thing, and we're going to start from this. So the first thing that we do is create a database that captures your onboarding steps. Now this will be very specific to your agency, and hence there is no one way to do this, but you would ideally want a database that captures your brief steps. So I'm going to call this database for steps, and what we'll do is we'll basically for the time being copy all of these steps and paste them here. Yeah, I'll just remove the date. So here we have the steps. I will add a small status column that will have started, not started, complete, and in progress. You can have as many as you think are appropriate for your agency. So this becomes our database for steps. Now above this, we'll do another database, which is a database for capturing your clients. So ideally, you may already have something like this where you store names of all your clients. And what you want to do is basically use the same one if you already have it existing, or you can create a fresh one which has a client list. What you can do here is just keep it name of the client name, and then we can add something like onboarding status, and we can name it started, in documentation, or let's say complete. Yeah, so we have the database 2 ready as well, and we're going to create the third database, which is going to be the onboarding task, or let's say task tracker, and that's all you got to do. So onboarding task tracker is your next database and the final one. And now here what you ideally want is that the task name should appear, and you should see something like your client. So let's say we put up a client name, and we have status against it, and you have complete. Sorry, I'm just going to edit this. So we have the status here as well, and we should also have a due date, and we have an assignee. So now we have all the three databases in place. That's the most important thing. This is the basic setup. Now we go to creating the button. Buttons are the best way to do automations in Notion. So you will see a lot of use of this button feature in most of the tutorials that you will find on YouTube or anywhere. So we're going to name this initiate onboarding. Now what we want this button to do is Once you click on the button, it should first create a client here, and you should be able to give a name to that client. And once you give that name, it should be able to then create all the onboarding tasks which we have listed here, all of these tasks to appear against that client, and possibly also have a due date to it if that's what you want to do. And yeah, assign, if you already know what person does what part of the onboarding process, you can assign it automatically. That should also be built in. So we're going to do all of those things. First thing is to have the client added to the client list database. So what we'll do is, when the button is clicked, we'll press on this new action. We'll do add page to. We'll select this client list database, and we'll put the client name as new client, and we'll keep the status as started. Okay, now I'll press done for a bit, and then let you see how this basically works. So when I click on this, you can see it automatically added a client list or new client to the client list. What we also now want to do is that it should open up the page so that I can edit the name of the client. So you say open, and you select this page edit from step 1. So, and let's make it side peak, and that's it. So now when I click on this, it adds a new client, but it opens the page for me to add here. So I will name it Global Tech, and yeah, you can see Global Tech got added here. Now what we're going to do is, this client name has to be derived from the client that's here. It should not be a text. So what we'll do is, we'll change the type to a relation, and we'll link it to client list. And we'll just enable two-way. Yeah. So this way we have a list of things here. You can see there's a step name here, there's a client name here, and this is related to the client list database. All right, so now back to the button. What we'll now do is, we'll ensure that all the tasks are added here. Now to do this, what we will do is, we will come here, add action, add pages to again, and this time we'll select the onboarding task tracker. The step name is going to be the step here, so we'll just copy this. We'll come back here, we'll put @ and we'll paste the name and select link to page, this page. We'll select the rest of them. Let's say if you already know who the person is for this particular step, you can assign it by clicking it here. Then let's say the client name has to be page added in step 1. So this one that we created, we edited the name. This has to be the client name. Then due date, let's say you want this step to be executed 3 days from now. The first one is 3 days, second is 5 days, 2 days augmented to every step. Then we'll go here, we'll go to custom formulas, and we'll write a short formula. We'll use date add now, that is today, 3 days, that's it. So the date to be added is now plus 3 days. We'll save it. Finally, we'll put the status as, let's say, in progress. You can name it as per your agency's convention. So the first step is ready here. We'll do a duplication of this instead of creating a fresh one. And all I'm going to do is go to the second step, copy the name, come here, remove the name, @ paste the name, select. Now you can make it 3 to 5 depending upon your progress. The second step takes 5 days. Then I'm going to do the similar thing for the third step. Now we have all the steps listed down. We have added the client, we have added all the steps, and then we can press done. And now we are ready. If I click on initiate onboarding now, you can see it opened a new page. I will rename it to listed tech ltd, any random name. And now you can see the onboarding task tracker has all the 5 steps listed here. It has the client name added here, the status, the due date, every date augmented by 2. You can make it as per your organization's rules, and it's also assigned to whoever you want. So that's the way. You already have the status. You can keep tracking whatever is completed by someone, they can come and update it, and or you can create a view of this into their spaces where they can see what tasks are assigned to them specifically and get on with it and do the job. uh, and yeah, you can use the due date to do automations, send reminders to people now that you have this data. Now let me know if you want me to build an extension of this particular video where I show how do you build those next steps as well. But this is the most important part, where you have an onboarding process created from one click. The initial setup takes a bit of time, but that's it. And yeah, that's how you build uh, an onboarding task tracker. If you want to continue building, I have a free gift for you. There's a very nice mini course that I've created. It has short 2-minute videos on how we consultants make the workspaces that we design look top tier professional. It has 5, you may call them as hacks, which can help you really boost your workspace efficiency. It can make it look much more professional and improve the way that work happens on your workplace. So feel free to download that free of cost from the link below as well. And I'll see you in the next video.